Good morning and welcome to the first and hopefully not the last Ball, Bucks, and Beards podcast. I'm Jimbo Blackwell alongside is Adam Epps.
What's up, everybody?
We're just a couple old coaches. Well, I'm old, he's not, but
I feel old.
we're gonna just spend the day talking about sports and talking about some hunting and
Might even have a story or two.
I got a good one. I got a good one lined up.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, Coach. First thing we probably need to talk about is Cardinal baseball.
Yep.
Oh, dynamic drop-in, Monty.
Well, I don't have
What movie? What movie is that from?
I don't know.
Major League.
Monty? Oh, yeah. Just a bit outside.
Yeah, that was a dynamic drop-in.
I
there,
just don't
Coach.
have a lot to say about the Cardinals. I don't have a lot to say about the Cardinals. I used to watch them all the time. The past 5 years, I'd say. I don't know if I've watched hardly anything. And I don't know if I'm going to watch anything as long as John Mozeliak is still in charge of the Cardinals.
We'll get to that in a little bit, but like when did you go to your first Cardinal game?
I remember I think it was 96. You'll probably know the date. I don't know. The Cardinals are playing the Braves in the NLDS or NLCS.
NLDS.
Okay. And the Cardinals are up like 2-0 or 3-0. And we get there, we get to the stadium. Dad took me and my brothers.
Oh, so you were late.
We was probably a little bit late coming in, and everybody's got the sweeps. Everybody's got the brooms going. Sweep.
Oh, that's sweet.
And the worst part about it is, Busch Stadium is just packed, and that's the glory days, and everybody is crazy. My dad has an Atlanta Braves hat on and is a diehard Atlanta Braves. So we got to sit with all those people, and he's doing, hey, oh.
Not the chop.
No,
the chop.
That was my first game.
Oh.
Cardinals lost. Braves beat them the rest of the series. And there was no sweep that took place.
Oh, yeah, Braves won in 7 games that year. Yeah, I remember.
How about you?
Well, I think I was 5 years old, I think. I can remember, and we went to Busch Stadium and saw Bob Gibson pitch.
So that was probably not the Busch Stadium before the last one, the one before that?
Yeah, it was built in 66.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the second one, but I don't think it had artificial turf then. I think it was grass then, and they went to artificial turf in the 70s. But, I grew up at a time and when you got 3 channels on TV. So at night, most of the time, if the Cardinals were playing, you listen to the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to the Cardinal game. That's just what you did. And so, but yeah, I think I was 5 years old. Mom and Dad took me, and I've kind of been hooked ever since. So,
did they win? Did they lose? Do you remember?
I think they won, but I can't remember who they played. But I remember they had Orlando Cepeda. I think Mushmouth was even playing. Mike Shannon.
Yeah.
Mushmouth. Yeah. So what are you going to do to fix the Cardinals?
First thing you got to do is John Mozeliak needs to resign, be fired, removed, banished from St. Louis because nothing that he's done in the past decade has worked.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd agree with that. Big problem is now I went to a game about, 3 weeks ago. They were playing the Dodgers, and there was as many Dodger fans there as there was Cardinal fans.
Yeah, I went there.
The fans are tired of it.
Yeah, I went there. We was up just doing some driving around in St. Louis, and it's like, let's go to a Cardinals game. I got on StubHub or something, and it was like $3 a ticket, and I like to sit in the bleacher seats. It's
I love the bleachers.
The whole thing together cost $15, so my parking costs 2 times as much.
Yeah, well, I hope you didn't eat or drink at the ballpark because that cost you
4 times.
Yeah, we used to go and get. We didn't this year, but a couple years ago, go get one of those rooms. You ever sat in those rooms? That's your food and your drinks are paid for.
No, I ain't been in one of those.
Yeah, it's air conditioned. You can get outside. It's pretty neat. What's your favorite Cardinal postseason memory? Playoffs or World Series? You got one of those?
Yeah, it's got to be 2011.
Yeah.
Was that the Rangers series?
That's the Rangers
series.
series.
We're down to our last strike more than once. Lance Berkman was down to his last strike.
Yep.
David Freeze, Mr. Absolute Clutch. That's absolutely the best Cardinals memory ever.
I actually, in that game, in Game 6, I got mad, went to bed in like the 8th inning, and I'm laying in bed. About an hour later, my phone just starts blowing up, and so I get on it, and people are texting me like, "Man, can you believe this?" And I'm like, "What?" So I go turn the TV on just in time to see them just a little bit before Freeze hit the homer in the 10th or 11th, whatever it was. But
yeah, I don't know what you do. What do you do to fix it? What's the problem right now with them? Like,
well, I mean, for one thing, they're overvaluing their prospects. All these great prospects we're supposed to have they're not performing unless we trade them, and then they do.
I don't think they've handled Jordan Walker right.
Oh, I don't either
at all.
I don't either. I mean, I think you just let that guy play.
Yeah,
You know, give him 4 at-bats a day or 5 at-bats, whatever it is, and just let him play. And I don't know. You know, they sent him down twice. He's been sent down twice this year, and they sent him down last year.
and I know they're pros, but they're still athletes. And athletes, when they lose confidence, it doesn't really matter at what level. I mean, that's tough to get back.
And here's how baseball's changed. Like, one of the big deals they're on Jordan Walker about is he's not hitting the ball in the air enough. It's all about launch angle, and you know, it's all about power and launch angle. And
I think some of that's the reason why I don't watch it as much anymore either.
I don't like it.
What did they say? The new 300 average?
270 is the new 300.
Whatever.
I can remember going to Cardinal games in the 80s with Vince Coleman, Willie McGee, and Ozzie Smith. Every one of those guys could run, and it was fun to go to a game.
Yeah, that's exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got anything else on the Cardinals. I'm just going to be honest with you.
All right, we'll move on. Well, and then you and I are both big hunters.
Oh, yeah.
So Sunday's like a big day for us.
Oh, yeah.
It's opening day of bow season.
It don't get any better.
No.
We've had a couple days this last week where it's dipped down in the low 50s or 40s.
Yeah.
My neck has kind of started to
I know.
swell. I've been
I know.
rubbing my head against the wall at the house. I'm ready.
I know I'm fired up, but like we were talking about on the way over here, it's supposed to rain.
Yeah, I know. I'm in a bad mood. I got the devil trying to win.
So do you hunt a lot during that?
Oh,
like
yeah.
during
Like
the
as soon
early
as they
part,
say go,
you go?
I'm out there
Yeah.
with the ticks and chiggers and everything else.
Yeah.
Now, I do got a couple things that have helped me kind of get through all that. You know, everybody don't want to go for mosquitoes and bugs and all that. It's like, I got like a 15-year-old Thermacell.
Still works?
And it still works. And I just
yeah.
get the little refill packs. Like, the deer will smell deer. It ain't bothered them yet, you know. So I ain't sitting there getting ate up by mosquitoes when there's an option to fix it.
That don't bother me. The ticks, the chiggers, the mosquitoes don't bother me. But you let me see a copperhead,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm out.
Yep.
I mean, every man for himself. I'm out. I can't handle it. In fact, if I got I'm pretty sure Sunday morning I'm going to sit in the shooting house, and I will shine that thing with the flashlight on my phone for 15 minutes before I get in there. Yeah.
You ever walked up on a snake in the dark, leaving your stand or going to your stand?
No.
I have. And let me tell you, it's a haunting experience.
Well, yeah, I don't do good with snakes, and I definitely don't like walking in there before dark or after dark. If I do that, my phone, my flashlight is shined on the ground, and it'll take me 20 minutes to walk 100 yards because I'm not taking steps.
I'm with you on the snake thing.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do in early season that I think helps is treat your clothes with, I can't say it right, permethrin. Treat your clothes with that
With
soy.
ticks and chiggers and stuff.
I mean, you don't spray it on you because it'll burn you and all
Right.
that. But if you treat your clothes with that, it lasts
Yeah.
a couple weeks. Your socks, probably even your underwear. If we can say underwear, but you treat it all.
You just said it, so.
Yeah. So that kind of helps as well. But every once in a while, they're just bad anyway, and you're going to get into some.
Yeah, and here's another thing I like about early season is I like Sunday. I feel like I actually have a chance to kill a really good one One thing, they're not pressured yet. The bucks are still together, and they're on the feed pattern. So, but now I'm convinced that after you go to a place one time, your chances decrease.
Oh yeah, I'm definite. I used to be so big into the buy the spray scent stuff and spray all my stuff and all that, and I don't hardly do any of that. I don't even buy any spray scent away stuff at all no more. I've listened to my boy Don Higgins so much.
Yeah.
He's just got me just drilled as you just got to hunt the wind.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that matters. Like,
so what is the earliest you've killed a buck?
I have killed one on opening day one time with full velvet, and it was a mature one. But I mean, I wish I had a picture I'd show everybody. But
was that up around Van Buren?
No, that was actually in Butler County.
Really?
Hunting on a buddy spot, and he was in this overgrown food plot, and he was just like consistent. I went to the dentist that day, so I didn't go to school. I went to the dentist, and they did cavities, so I was all numbed up. I got in my stand on the edge of this plot, and the sun is in my face the whole time, and I'm just roasting, thinking this is the dumbest idea ever.
Yeah.
And then finally the sun goes back behind the trees, does start coming out, and here he come, 15-yard broadside shot, and he was a weird, wonky. We called him a wonky buck because his back leg was all swole.
That's not the one you showed me where you spined him, is it?
No, that's not the. That's not the one.
That's not the spine one?
No, that's a good one too. We'll have to get to that one sometime.
Okay.
But it was a 6-pointer, but he was like really had good mass. I got his Euro still with the velvet.
Like a bigger 6-pointer than like Brett Reed would mount, I hope.
I can't really confirm or deny any of that, but I just have to take your word.
If it's over a 12-inch spread, it's going on Brett's wall. Yeah. Yeah. And I hope
Sorry, Brett.
I hope he hears this. I really do. But
other than that, no, not had a whole lot of luck early, but I 100% agree with you. I think real hunters that actually get trail cameras out and are trying to hunt a buck, like a specific buck, I think your best chance is either early or really late, where they're in an actual. I don't think you can pattern deer, but I think that's probably as close as you could get to patterning a deer. Is early. You know where the food's at. You kind of know where they're bedding at. Get somewhere in between, and you're probably going to be in the chips if the wind's right. And all that.
I always think at my farm that you got a chance September 15th, and then I don't think you have to kill a really, really, old, mature buck that's so smart. I don't think you have another chance until those, I call it the 3 days of the rut, where they're either seeking or chasing, and then, you're liable to see him anywhere. But I'm excited about Sunday. Like I say, we look forward to this all year.
Yep. I have a little bit of damper from the rain, but if I know it's just going to kind of be a light to medium rain, and I can maybe get my tree umbrella up in my stand and not just absolutely get drenched, I'll probably be crazy enough to be out there.
So Sunday, you hunting a food plot?
The plan right now,
water, what?
I'm probably going to be over a pasture. I've been getting some pictures of them on, and just kind of more of an observation set than I think I'm going in there to kill a big one. Now, I might whack a doe just because you got to get it out of your system. But that's my setup. Where you going to be Sunday?
Well, I'm actually going to, Sunday morning, I'm going to be off of a food plot, I think, kind of in between the food plot and his bedding area. And just hopefully, maybe catch him coming back to his bedding area. And then I think I'm actually going to set in the food plot Sunday evening.
Yeah, I think that'd be
good.
How early are you going to get there Sunday morning?
I don't know, probably 6:15, 6:30.
Some of them guys are crazy. They're going to get out there 2 hours before daylight because they don't want to bump them going back.
Yeah, but not only that, not bumping them, but another reason I'm not going out there that early is I have to be out there dark and not knowing whether a snake's crawling down around my boot.
It'd be a rattle-headed copper moccasin out there waiting for you.
Yeah. It's like Bo and I went hunting in South Carolina one time, and it was hot. Man, it was hot. And we got to this place where we were hunting, this outfitters, they said, now, whatever you do, don't stick your hand or your foot inside that shooting house before you look at it, before you like either shine it or, just get a good look inside. And I said, why? And they said, rattlesnakes.
Oh my God, I'm out.
Yeah.
Give me my money back.
Yeah,
I'm
no
going
fun.
home.
No fun. But we didn't see any. Thank the Lord. But
I think people would have more success in like early season just in general. I don't think there's very many people like that know what the wind direction is going to be when they go hunting. And they wonder why I didn't see a deer. Their deer might have been there somewhere, and you'll never know because he smelled you a mile away. And they don't pay any attention to what the wind's doing.
Yeah, boy, to me, if you're bow hunting, that's number one.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you can get away with that gun season.
Yeah, rifle season. I got my own thoughts. I got my own thoughts on all that.
That's for another podcast. If we don't get canceled after today.
Yeah.
By the way, we've killed 14 minutes.
That's pretty
16
good.
to go. That's not bad.
For all three of our listeners.
All three
today.
of our listeners out there. Yeah. We're hoping for 4 for the next time.
Yeah, if you got any comments, just go ahead and send them to us.
Yeah, we would like to get it set up where you could send comments. And we could
maybe even ask
comments.
Ask a question. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
They got to be appropriate, so just remember that.
Yeah. But no, that's what I'm planning on doing Sunday, and then we might as well talk about it. I mean, you're going to argue about this. We might as well get it out of the way.
Oh, okay. This is going to be bad.
You know what it is.
I already know what it is.
Bow, crossbow.
Yeah, so real hunting versus not real hunting.
Well, I'm kind of a crossbow guy.
Well,
I'm older than dirt.
You're a senior citizen.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm not going to say anything to you.
Okay.
But
like Bo, you're gonna roast Bo.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna tell Bo and anybody else using a crossbow that is not hurt, has some type of injury, has a reason to be using a crossbow. Just come up here, find me up at the school or at my house, and give me your man card because you absolutely do not need one because you're not bow hunting no more. You're rifle hunting with an arrow.
Yeah, and I'll be glad to give you guys coaches' phone numbers if you want to comment on that to him. Yeah, I'll hook you right up. No, I quit using the bow about 3 or 4 years ago, and I can tell you crossbow is.
Yeah,
I think
50,
60 yards in, it's like shooting a gun.
It's money.
Yeah,
and I think there is a place for it. Like, I think, senior citizens, guys that have hunted their whole lives, and it's going to be too much, and you're worried about the poundage. It ain't enough poundage and stuff like that. I get it, and I know some people are going to get mad, but I know some people, like, they'll take their kids bow hunting and let them use a crossbow.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to do that. Everybody can do what they want to do. I just don't think... because that's not an accurate representation of what real bow hunting is to me. And I know it's different to everybody else, but it's way harder than that to have to be able to get that close to an animal, especially like when you get into talking about bucks, and because they're totally different than doe. And then you got to make the move, and you got to draw back, and you got to get at the right angle, and everything's got to go absolutely perfect for that to happen. But I'm, as some people would call, a purist.
You're a purist.
I'm a purist on bow hunting, and I don't think it's bow hunting if you use a crossbow. And now, if you got something wrong, like you hurt your shoulder, hurt your arm, I get that. I totally understand that. But I think bow hunting is the most real hunting that there is because you got to get close, you got to take in wind, and it's so fun. You feel like a tree ninja up there because you got to get so close and you got to do everything right.
And here's another thing I'm not doing. I'm not going mobile like you either. I'm way past the climber stage. And those hang-ons like Bo, 30 feet in the air with just a little seat up there.
Yes.
No, Jimmy,
that's the way to do it, man.
No, Jimmy's got to have rails up there. He's got to have, when he looks down at the ground, there's got to be something between him and the ground. There's got to be a rail.
I can't play
that.
Safety summit. You wouldn't even get in like a.
I might get in the safety summit, maybe.
I don't even take that for rifle season. I'll take a climber because I like to have a shooting rail. But like once again, a regular bow. I mean, it's hard to draw it back when you got a rail in front of you. And you got all that. So, I do the mobile thing sometimes, but if I already have a preset, I don't mind using a crossbow. I just don't think it's bow hunting. I think bow hunting is the most real hunting that there is because you got to get close, you got to take in wind, and everything's got to go absolutely perfect for that to happen. But I'm just I mean, you're not going to make any noise getting in. You'd be a dummy if you tried to make all that noise putting one up.
Bo and I were hunting last year. It was pretty early. I don't think it was October yet, but may have been early October. We were in a double buddy stand, and I had my crossbow, and he actually was grunting and rattling, and this probably one of the biggest deer we've ever had on our farm.
Is this mahogany?
This is mahogany.
Oh God,
the famous mahogany buck. Yeah. So anyway, he gets into about 5 yards, and I can't get him in the scope, and so I'm like, he runs off, and I'm like shaking my head. Bo's over there. He's
in
I'm afraid
tears.
he's going to jump off the rail. I mean, I'm afraid he's going to jump out of the stand. And I'm like, Bo, that's my fault. He said, well, Dad, anything can happen at 5 yards. Yeah.
That's like taking a kid hunting. That's like taking a kid. I can't get it in the scope. I can't get it in the scope.
Yeah. Anything can happen at 5 yards. But
what about your first bow kill ever?
Well,
if it's a crossbow, don't tell the story.
It's not a crossbow.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, but it was probably 1990. Because back in the 80s.
Wait a minute.
Now, hang on.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Not that long ago. Go to the 90s.
This
Jimmy,
is 2024.
That's 30-something years ago, bro.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
All right, go on.
Well, so, I was telling you about the rails and the tree stand thing. So
Yeah.
I'm hunting over at my uncle's place. He's got one of these wooden platform stands with a wooden ladder up to it, and then just a flat, a flat pedestal up there.
I've seen those before. How do you sit on those? I've seen those like up in a tree in public.
You either take a little stool or a little chair, or you sit on the edge of them and put your feet on the, yeah.
Like you're sitting on the dock
So
of a
anyway,
pond or something.
Yeah, anyway, I got up there, and I was up there about 5 minutes, and I got to looking down, started getting a little dizzy. I'm like, I got to get down from here. So I got down from there, and this doe came right at me about 15 yards. I thought I shoot, it runs off. I go just look where I shot. I got blood, so I go get my uncle. He's like, I said, what'd you shoot? And I said, oh, it's a big doe. Well, it was, you could still see the spots when we found it. It looks a little bigger, yeah. Yeah. And I hit it just right in the butt.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good kill shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to live with an arrow stuck up there.
Yeah. But the first bow buck I ever killed, I was with Bo, and we were in this little pop-up blind, and we got a picture of this buck like the day before, and it's really not a shooter. I mean, I don't know if you see it. Have you been?
No, I ain't seen it.
Okay, well, it's about 13 inches wide, and it's a 10-point, but it's just...
So Brett would mount it?
It's on Brett's wall, yeah. Yeah. Probably be one of his biggest deer he's got on there, too. But we need to make sure, by the way, we email this podcast to him, or however you're...
Do we got to get his approval?
I don't know, do we?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll do it to Maggie.
He'll be all right.
We'll give it to Maggie.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so this buck comes out about 30 minutes after daylight, and Bo's like, shoot it. I'm like, Bo, it's not really a shooter.
And you never killed a buck with your bow to this point.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah.
Up to this point, I had not killed a buck with my bow.
Shoot him.
Yeah, so after he begs me, I'm talking about straight begs me for about 10 minutes, so I finally shoot it and kill him. But that's the way my first bow buck went. And by the way, that's my first and only bow buck.
Oh my God.
I'm more the iron sights rifle guy.
Yeah.
But we got about 8 minutes left. You got any good stories? You got any good dad stories or anything?
I'm trying to think. I'm sure Jordan has done something lately, but I can't. Not
Or your dad's stories.
Yeah, I got some stories, but I'll tell one. Like when I first started bow hunting, like I guess he had done it before, so I started using his bow. It was like a 1993 Golden Eagle, 0% let off compound.
Yeah,
and I'm shooting with my fingers.
Oh yeah,
because I don't know anything, and then I finally get a release, and I had a couple deer come in front of me. I think they were trying to die. And I was just shooting all over the place. I missed 3 times in one day. I shot 3 Spitfires right in the dirt. I didn't kill my first deer with a buck until I was 18 years old. And I kind of thought that was late, but after hearing your story, I don't feel so bad. I don't feel so bad about it anymore.
Well, I was thinking in the 90s, I was thinking I wasn't that old, but I guess that's about 30 or
that's
or
all right.
older. Yeah.
It takes all kinds.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was this, it was another big doe. It was actually like a fawn. And I shot that thing and it pinned it to the dirt. It was so small. And I've never.
Did it make the noise?
Oh, yeah. It was, and I was like, and I didn't care one bit. I was more excited than when I killed that deer than any of the bucks I've killed because that first one with the bow, it was just because it was a real bow, not crossbow, by the way.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I'll never forget it. But I was using, that was not with the 1993 Golden Eagle, by the way. I think that was Matthews Outback that I drove the ice cream truck all summer.
You drove the ice cream truck.
Yeah, the old Roger Dodger.
You got any pictures of that? Or
I'm sure my mom
you have to
does
wear a little
somewhere.
hat or anything?
No,
like
no hat, for Pete's sake. What are you talking about?
I thought she's going to say Golly Bill or something.
No, for Pete's sake.
Coach likes to say Golly Bill.
Yeah.
The first time he said that on the bench this year, I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah. What does
does that mean?
What does gomming around mean? I mean, we got a lot of things we can talk about right here.
Well, ask Carson. She knows what gomming means.
Yeah, she can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. But
all right, you got to have a story here to end the show with, probably.
Well, it's okay. It's not really a hunting story, but it kind of is a little bit. But so I grew up in Naylor, and we lived about a block from the school. So I'd walk to school every day and walk home every day. And I had a dog named Jocko, and I guess he was a good bird dog. And so Jocko, when I would walk home from school every day, he'd be waiting at the end of the driveway. I mean, he was my buddy, my best buddy, and every day I'd walk home from school, Jocko's at the end of the driveway. So one day I walk home, Jocko's not at the end of the driveway. I go in the house and I ask Mom, I said, Mom, where's Jocko? She's like, well, you're going to have to talk to your dad about that when he gets home from work. And I'm like, well, okay. So Dad gets home from work about an hour later, and I said, Dad, Mom said to ask you about Jocko. Where's Jocko? And Dad said, well, son, Jocko killed the neighbor's chickens. So he said, son, when a dog does that, you have to put it down because it'll never get that, it'll kill him the rest of its life. And I'm like, of course, I cried like a little baby.
But you never questioned it.
Oh, no, I didn't question it.
Are you sure that they got...
Because we actually did have some neighbors that had chickens. So I just thought, well, okay. So, no, I didn't question it. So that was probably been in 1970. I think that was 1972, believe it or not. I was 9 years old. So I just thought Jocko, Dad had to put him down. So in 2009, we are at deer camp.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How many years is that?
That's 37 years.
All right.
37 years. So 37 years later, we're at deer camp, and Mom and Dad get in an argument about something. And, I mean, they're going at it. And all of a sudden, Mom says, she called my dad Jimmy. She said, okay, Jimmy, why don't you tell Jimbo what really happened to Jocko?
No way.
Yeah. And I'm like, Mom, I know what happened. He's eating the neighbor's chickens. She's like, nope. That's not what happened, Jimbo. And my dad's over there giving her the, by the neck, cut it off. Shut up, Darlene, all that stuff.
We was past that point, though.
Yeah, because I knew something was up then. So it went on for about 30 seconds, and my mom said, tell him, Jimmy, tell him right now. So he goes, I lost Jocko in a poker game to Panther Thomas. He said Jocko had been living down there at Panthers for...
Who?
Panther Thomas.
That's not a real person.
That's his nickname because he looked like a panther, kind of. He's kind of tall and dark. That was his nickname, Panther. Panther Thomas. Thomas was his last name.
Okay. Yeah. If Panther Tom's out there anywhere, we need the confirmation of this story because I don't believe there's anybody named Panther Tom.
Thomas.
Oh, Panther Thomas.
Thomas
don't help it.
Thomas was his last name.
Oh,
First name's Panther. Well, first name... Anyway, his nickname was Panther. Yeah. So
Looked like a
evidently Jocko's been living down at, and Panther Thomas lived right there in town too. I drove by that house.
How are you, kid, riding a bike and running all over the huge town of Naylor and
I don't
not
know.
see the dog?
I guess he had been a pen out back or something. I guess he's a good bird dog, but yeah, Dad lost Jocko in a poker game.
So it wasn't the taste of chicken blood that did
No,
Jocko
no.
in.
Nope, it was Dad's not a very good card player, probably.
That's awesome.
But well, I think we've about killed 30 minutes.
Yeah,
you
I
got
think
anything
we did.
else?
No, I think we did pretty good.
We'll figure out how to drop it. What do you call it? Drop it.
Is it a debut? Is it inaugural? Is it annual?
It's
or is it just episode one?
Episode number 1.
All right.
Episode number 1, and we'll
Bucks and beards, baby.
ball bucks and beards, yeah. And we'll check with our 3. After we drop it, we'll check with our 3 listeners, Jason, Bo, and Haley, probably.
Because they'll have to tell us, all right, you got to quit.
Yeah, they're probably going to be like, yeah, no. But, so,
well, when we post this, tell us what you guys think. Give some comments. But for Jimbo Blackwell, I'm Adam
What
Epps.
about the train? We're going to not talking about the train.
What kind of train we talking about? Trump!
I hear the train a coming.
It's coming around the bend.
Okay. All right, that's it. So
all right,
long.
guys, we're out of here. Peace.
Bye.